One of the best ways to keep what God gives to you. Alright? One of the best ways to keep what God gives to you. You know, at the turn of a year, or the turn of the century, or the turn of a millennium like this, God does speak to people. He really does. Because times and seasons are usually landmarks, and you can make references to them. And so God gets the attention of people, so He can direct them in the way that He wants them to go. But at a time like this, there's usually a lot of celebration, a lot of social activities. People are happy, and many don't know what they're happy about, but they're just excited. Many people are usually excited. Anything, they will be excited. If you ask them, why are you happy? Say, oh, I'm so happy to see the millennium. What does it mean to you? A millennium is 1,000 years. There's nobody here who lived 1,000 years. Come on, talk to me now. And now we're in the year 2000. Except you remember, or you see it on a paper, it doesn't feel like anything different, does it? You feel 2000? You see, men have learned to invest themselves and their lives in non-essentials. It is the saddest thing in human life. They have learned to invest themselves and invest their lives and everything in the wrong things, on non-essentials. They are happy about nothing. They don't know what to be happy about. Why? Because in them is that void that they seek to fill. I'm not even talking about just the world, including Christians. Watch them on Christmas Day. A lot of Christians are looking for what to do to themselves. Some even say, how can I just stay at home just like that? What are you going to be doing on Christmas Day? Say, well, I plan to be at home. They want to do something, to feel different. It's proof positive they are children. They are playing with toys. Paul said, when I was a child, I thought like a child. I spoke like a child. I acted like a child. He said, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. When you were younger, a little kid, you were happy about Christmas, weren't you? They gave you that yellow wristwatch that didn't work, and green sunglasses, and you went around visiting. You were happy about Christmas. But after you have seen a lot of them, you're not as excited anymore, are you? Not so excited about, hey, Christmas time. You're really not. But you see, there are different stages in life. Some never leave childhood, even when they are grown. They just translate from one form to another. What should be your excitement today? What are you looking at in your life? What does all this mean to you? I know yesterday you were excited and, okay, where's everybody? And there was no standing space here yesterday night. You know what I'm talking about? Of course, I know some are preparing, some slept so late. I slept at 6. I know some of you didn't even sleep. You just all night, your eyes open till now. You may be feeling sleepy right now. See? Some are sleeping. Some are preparing for friends that they think will come. Didn't you learn something at Christmas? Everybody was preparing for everybody and nobody came to anybody. Don't you understand? People don't learn lessons. There's not much outing anymore. Hallelujah. Don't invest your life on non-essentials. Don't seek to please men. Don't even seek to please yourself. What gets your attention? What are the things that make you happy? I was listening to the news and they said, as different nations were celebrating the turn of the millennium, there was one nation that said they could not officially celebrate. Venezuela. They said because they had some disaster 2 weeks ago where so many thousands of people died. So they said, what are we celebrating for? That tells you something. They couldn't celebrate because a lot of thousands of people had been rendered homeless. Many had died. So much had happened. And the government said, how can we be celebrating? Many of our people have no homes. That's the spirit that can win. Moses was in the house of Pharaoh, being brought up to become prime minister of Egypt. He had everything. Life was sweet. But every time he went to the land of Goshen and saw the children of Israel suffering under the whiplash of Pharaoh's taskmasters, it hurt him. He couldn't feel so comfortable in his bed. Couldn't celebrate. His heart was full of a desire for deliverance for his people. That's the spirit that wins. And then God talked to him. God needed a man who could see, not one that is blind. He needed a man who could see. He needed a man who could see. Billions of dollars all over the world have been spent on celebrating from yesterday night to this morning. I congratulate them all. We are all seeing a new millennium for the first time. Am I right? Anybody here, you saw one before? Okay. I congratulate them. But just think one moment. If an investment was made by all these celebrants and they said, let us spend this money and change the status of the poor. See, when you see people, when you see thieves, robbers going so violently, when you see riots in schools, these are the things that affect them. These are the things that burn within them. These are the reasons some of them are desperately wicked, because they feel the world is wicked. You spend so much to make all this decoration and the shouting and so on. Find out how God told his people to celebrate. Go check. He said, make preparation for those who have nothing. That is the real celebration. The day that you can bring in what you have and spend. Just imagine if yesterday, while they're still debating whether to cancel the debts of the poorer nations or not, if all those nations spending billions of dollars for the celebration of one night to one morning, if they could just say, cancel their debts, the debts of the nations which they themselves created, what what celebration there would be. When oil was discovered in Nigeria many years ago, the government held a party. The pictures are still there. There was celebration. They said Nigeria is going to be a great nation. So that is the kind of thing that would have brought celebration. Most of the money made in Nigeria is spent on paying debts. It's not in Nigeria. So when you talk about the economy being in squabbles, this is it. The money is spent outside because they say we are going. So when the government gets money, instead of using it for infrastructures, for development within the country, we use it to pay debts. So we can get it. Plus that, we can't even collect taxes in Nigeria. It's so difficult. But how many are taxable? If they could get the taxes, maybe they would be better. But I tell you, with the debts we owe, most of the money from the taxes would have still gone for debt settling. So when things like this happen and you find men like Fidel Castro getting mad at America and the UK and so on and so forth, you wonder why. These are the things that burn within the hearts of people when they see that people are thoughtless in the way they do things. That's why I'm asking the question. What should you be happy about? There are many things to be happy about. But don't put your priorities in the wrong areas. When the disciples of Jesus went out to minister to people and they came back rejoicing, they said, Master, even the demons were subject to us in your name. The Master said, hey, don't rejoice because the devils were subject to you. He said, he immediately corrected them. He saw what their excitement was. He saw what their excitement was. He said, don't rejoice because the demons are subject to you. He put their priorities straight. He said, rejoice rather that your names are in the book of life.